Welcome back to the Stoic. I want to start today with a quote from Epictetus. He said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." We often think that courage is absence of fear. We think to be a protector, we have to be fearless. That is a lie. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the management of fear. If you are a gun owner or if you carry concealed, you have probably heard the term situational awareness 1,000 times. Keep your head on a swivel, stay in condition yellow. But what does that actually mean? For most people, situational awareness just feels like anxiety. It feels like paranoia. You walk around the grocery store thinking everyone is a threat. You're consistently stressed. You're burning out your adrenal system. That is not awareness. That is just worry. And there is a massive difference between worry and fear. One is a tool. One is a poison. Today, on episode 6, we're going to talk about the architecture of fear. We're going to learn how to filter the signal from the noise. We're going to talk about why being polite might be the most dangerous thing you can do. And we're going to break down the biology of your eyes and why scanning isn't just moving your head. It's about programming your brain. My name is Alvin. Let's get into it. I was watching a video recently from our friends over at the Machine Gun Nest. Great range, by the way, if you haven't been there. Stephanie, one of their team members, did a fantastic breakdown on situational awareness. She brought up a book that is mandatory reading for anyone who listens to this podcast. The Gift of Fear by Gavin Becker. If you haven't read it, order it today. In the book, Becker makes a distinction that changed my life. He separates true fear from anxiety. Here's the difference. True fear is a signal. It's immediate. It's linked to survival. It is that feeling when hair on the back of your neck stands up. It's that sudden urge to step back from the curve right before a bus flies by. That fear is a gift. It is your subconscious mind telling you danger is here, move now. It's fast, it's efficient, and it rarely lasts long because you either act on it or the danger passes. Anxiety or worry, it's different. Worry is future-based. Worry is your imagination. What if I look stupid? What if I offend that guy? What if I'm printing through my shirt? Worry is noise. It freezes you. It wastes your processing power. Becker says something profound. If you're worrying, you're usually safe. Why? Because if you're in actual imminent danger, you wouldn't have time to worry. You would be too busy fighting or running. So the first step in Stoic protection is to audit your feelings. Are you feeling sharp, cold, signal to move? That is fear. Obey it. Are you spinning a story in your head about what might happen next week? That is worry. Discard it. Stephanie told a story in that video that really stuck with me. It's a scenario that happens every day. A mother is in the park with her child. A strange man cuts between them. He gets too close. The mother's gut instinct, her true fear screams at her, grab your kid and leave. But she doesn't. Why? Because she doesn't want to be rude. She doesn't want to look like a crazy person. She doesn't want to offend the stranger. This is the polite victim syndrome. We are socially conditioned to be nice. From the time we are in kindergarten, we are told, share your toys. Don't be mean, smile. That software runs deep. But here is the hard truth. Predators exploit your politeness. A predator knows that you hold the door open for him because you are nice. He knows you will answer his question about the time because you don't want to be rude. He knows you won't scream when he touches your arm because you don't want to make a scene. You have to delete that code. As a protector, you must give yourself permission to be rude. You don't owe a stranger an explanation. You don't owe anyone your time. And you certainly don't owe them access to your personal space. If you're walking to your car and someone starts walking toward you and you get that bad feeling, cross the street. If he yells, hey, I just want to ask you a question, keep walking. Look at him and say, no. Is that rude? Maybe. Is it safe? Yes. A Stoic does not care about the opinion of a stranger. We care about the safety of our own. If your gut says go, don't let your manners say stay. Now, I want to drill down on the mechanics of this. How do we actually spot these threats before they get close? We talk about them. Scanning. Keep your head on a swivel. But most people do this wrong. They just move their head left and right like a lawn sprinkler. They are looking, but they aren't seeing. Let's talk about the hardware for a second. Your eyes are not just cameras. They are direct extensions of your brain. The optic nerve plugs straight into your visual cortex. Evolution designed this system to be the most advanced threat detection software on the planet. Your eyes take in millions of bits of data every second. Your conscious mind, that part of you listening to my voice right now, can only process a tiny fraction of that. But your subconscious sees everything. Have you ever been walking down the street and suddenly just felt the urge to cross the road? You didn't know why, you just felt off. That wasn't magic, that was your brain processing a threat before your conscious mind could even put a name to it. Maybe your peripheral vision caught a micro-expression of aggression on someone's face. Maybe your ears picked up a footstep that was accelerating to match your pace. Maybe you saw a car moving just a little too slow for that traffic flow. Your brain saw the predator before you did, and it steered you out of the way. But, and this is a huge but, this only works if you feed the machine good data. If you're looking at your phone, if you're scrolling Instagram while you walk to your car, you have blinded the supercomputer. You have put a lens cap on the camera. You are effectively walking through a combat zone with a blindfold on. When I tell people to scan for threats, some people install the wrong software update. They turn into a Karen. You know what I mean. They start scanning for people they don't like. They start profiling on skin color, or hoodies, or tattoos. Let me be crystal clear. This is not situational awareness. This is laziness, and frankly, it's dangerous. Bias blinds you. If you're staring at the minority teenager in a hoodie because your own bias, you're going to miss the 45-year-old soccer mom in the Volvo who is texting while driving and is about to run you over. A professional protector does not look at demographics. A professional looks at behavior. I don't care what color you are. I care that your hands are fidgeting in your waistband. I don't care how you're dressed. I care that you're matching my walking pace perfectly. I don't care if you look respectable in a suit and tie. I care that you are scanning the room for exits instead of looking at the menu. This is the difference between being a Karen and being a protector. One is judging, the other is assessing. So, how do we train this? How do we turn on the supercomputer without turning into a paranoid wreck? I want you to play a game. Next time you're in a coffee shop or waiting at a DMV or sitting in your car, play the mental note game. Pick one person. Make a mental note of 3 things about them. But here's the rule. They must be behavioral. Don't say blue shirt, tall guy, brown hair. That's police sketch artist stuff. That's reactive. I want you to look deeper. Say to yourself, he's tapping his foot. He's agitated. He's sitting facing the door. That's tactical positioning. He hasn't taken a sip of his coffee in 10 minutes. Is he distracted? When you do this, you're teaching your brain to process anomalies. You're teaching it to look for things that don't fit the baseline. And the amazing thing is, once you start doing this consistently, your subconscious takes over. You'll start noticing things without trying. You'll walk into a room and immediately know who the loudest person is. You'll know where the exit is. You won't feel scared, you'll feel informed. That is the goal, information, not anxiety. We talk a lot about gear on this channel, handguns, holsters, optics, and I love that stuff. I'm a gear guy, but we have to remember the hardware fallacy. We have this idea that if we just buy the right gun, if we get the sub-second draw, then we are safe. As the saying goes, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. But here's the reality. If you have to draw your gun, you're clearing leather or kydex. You have failed at de-escalation. You have failed to see the threat early enough to leave. The gun is the last resort. It is the emergency brake. You don't drive your car hoping to use the emergency brake. The supreme art of war, according to Sun Tzu, is to subdue the enemy without fighting. The best gunfight you'll ever have is the one you aren't in, because you saw the guy arguing outside the gas station, and you drove to the next one. Because you saw the weird vibe in the parking lot, and you went back inside the store. Because you listened to the true fear signal, and you changed your route. That isn't cowardice. That is the strategy. So here is your homework for this week. I want you to go about your day. Go to work. Go to the gym. Go to the store. But I want you to take the headphones out, put the phone in your pocket, and just watch. Look at people. Look at behaviors. Find the anomalies. And if you feel a little sense of adrenaline, you felt that gift of fear. Don't push it down. Don't be polite. Listen to it. It might be just the most important conversation you'll have all day. A big shout out again to Stephanie and the team at the Machine Gun Nest for sparking this conversation. Go check out their channel. I'll link that video in the show notes. Until next time, stay dangerous, stay rational, and keep your head up.